If you think you have real allies in the game of power, think again. That belief alone might be the reason you lose. Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. The idea that loyalty is solid, unshakable, and eternal, especially in a world driven by ambition, isn't just naive, it's dangerous. Power doesn't operate on friendship. It thrives on strategy, on leverage, on advantage. It's like a high-stakes chess match where every move is calculated, every player is looking to win, and the people closest to you? They're not there for loyalty, they're there for opportunity. You might think someone is your friend, your ride or die, your day one. But in reality, they're a strategist, disguised as a companion, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to make their move. That's the game. That's how it works. Machiavelli saw this centuries ago with crystal clarity. He wasn't cold for the sake of being cold, he was observant. He understood something most people still ignore. Loyalty, especially in the pursuit of power, is just a temporary agreement. It's a fragile thread that snaps the second personal interest gets in the way. To the idealist, trust is a virtue. But to the master of power, trust is the trap. It's the open door that invites betrayal. The sooner you understand that, the less likely you are to be blindsided when things fall apart. Let's be real. The world we live in isn't built on sincere connections. It's a battlefield, a place where every smile could be a mask, where every handshake might come with a hidden agenda, where every "I've got your back" could actually mean, "I'll take your spot when you're not looking."
Alliances? They only last as long as you're useful. The moment your value drops, so does their loyalty. That's the pattern. And yet, time and time again, people act surprised when the people they trusted walk away, or worse, stab them in the back. The weak put blind faith in others. They believe bonds formed during good times will hold strong during hard ones. But history proves otherwise. Every time power enters the picture, things change. Friendships erode, partnerships crumble, and the so-called loyal ones? They start eyeing your throne. It's not a glitch in the system. It is the system. Just look around. Business, politics, even within families. Betrayal isn't rare. It's expected. It's baked into the game. People will smile in your face, then undercut you if it means leveling up. They'll make promises in private and break them in public if the right opportunity comes along. Think about it. A friend sabotages another to get a promotion. A partner jumps ship for a better deal. A confidant leaks private conversations when the winds shift. This isn't paranoia, it's pattern recognition. Machiavelli famously wrote that men forget the death of their father more easily than the loss of their inheritance. That sounds harsh, but what he's really saying is this: material gain motivates people far more than sentimental ties ever will.
So when you're trying to hold on to power, or even just build something that matters, you can't rely on good intentions or moral codes. You have to be willing to let go of comfort. You have to see people for what they really are, not what they claim to be. Power requires a level of ruthlessness, not because you're heartless, but because you're realistic, because you understand the price of being naive. And here's the hardest part. The higher you climb, the more isolated you become. Not because you're pushing people away, but because the view from the top is lonely. Few people understand what it took to get there. Fewer still can be trusted to help you stay there. The more you have, the more others want. And with every step upward, more eyes are locked on your next move, not to support you, but to spot your weakness, to be there the moment you slip. When that moment comes, and it will, don't expect a helping hand, expect distance. Expect silence. The ones who cheered you on might suddenly pretend they never knew you.
That's the nature of power. People love a rising star, but they run from a falling one. This isn't to say you can't work with others or build connections, but don't confuse shared interests with real loyalty. The truth is, most people are loyal to their needs, not to you. They're loyal to their niche, their goal, their ambitions. If sticking by you helps them achieve that, they'll stay. If not, they're gone.
So what do you do with that truth? If loyalty is temporary, if friendships in the world of power are mostly transactional, how do you survive? Better yet, how do you win? It starts with seeing clearly. You stop expecting people to act out of virtue. You stop assuming that someone's words today mean anything tomorrow. You accept that in the game of power, usefulness equals value, and the second that changes, so does everything else. That might sound cold, but it's clarity, and clarity is power. In today's world, this reality is even more intense. We live in an era where information travels faster than thought. A single comment, a text, a photo, something said in confidence can be turned against you instantly. One screenshot and years of trust go into flames. And when that moment happens, when something slips, watch how fast the people around you disappear. The praise turns into distance. The excitement becomes avoidance. They'll act like they never believed in you to begin with, just to protect their own image. That's the moment you realize the only loyalty that truly matters is the one you build with yourself. Your employees? They're loyal to their paycheck. Your business partners? They're loyal to the profit margin. Even family, in some cases, can be influenced when money, status, or reputation is on the line. And that doesn't mean people are evil, it means they're human. And humans are wired for self-preservation. We all calculate risks. We all think in terms of gain. Most people just don't admit it. But the people who win the power game, they don't ignore that reality, they use it.
But the people who win the power game, they don't ignore that reality. They use it. Look at history. How many kingdoms collapsed, not because of outside enemies, but because of betrayal from within? How many great leaders fell, not because they lacked strength, but because they trusted the wrong people? It happens over and over again, because power reveals. It strips away the mask. It shows you who people really are, and more importantly, it shows you who you really are. Can you handle the solitude? Can you accept that sometimes the price of success is walking alone? Can you build something so solid inside yourself that when the betrayal comes, and it will, it doesn't break you? That's the kind of strength you need in this game. Not the strength to dominate others, but the strength to stand alone when the illusion of friendship fades. Machiavelli had a powerful metaphor. He said a ruler must learn to be both a lion and a fox, strong enough to defend themselves and clever enough to see through traps. In modern terms, be bold, but also be sharp. Be kind, sure, but be prepared. Because today's battlefield isn't covered in blood, it's covered in data, in influence, in narratives. The weapons have changed, but the strategies haven't. It's still about leverage, still about control, still about making the right moves before someone else makes them against you.
So, what does that look like in your life? It means understanding that alliances are made for mutual gain, not out of love, peers. This doesn't mean isolating yourself from everyone, but it does mean being strategic about who you open up to and how much power you give them over your life. Self-reliance isn't just a buzzword. It's your defense system, your protection. It's what keeps you grounded when everything around you is shifting. Because if the only person you truly rely on is yourself, no one can pull the rug out from under you. No one can weaponize your secrets. No one can use your trust as a blade against you. Let's be clear, people will try, not always with bad intentions, but with self-interest. Some will outgrow you. Some will envy you. Some will get scared of your momentum and try to slow you down. They'll hide it in advice. They'll hide it in concern. But behind the words, there's strategy. That's why it's your job to see the board clearly. To understand every move isn't just about what's happening now. It's about what comes next. Are they helping because they believe in you, or because they believe you'll take them somewhere? Would they still support you if things went south? Would they fight for you if it cost them something? Most people won't. And that's not a reason to hate them. It's a reason to stop being surprised. It's a reason to stop handing out trust like candy. Start treating it like currency, valuable, limited, and only given to those who prove they understand what it means.
Now, you might be asking, is there a way out of this? If loyalty is mostly an illusion, if betrayal is just a matter of time, if every connection is conditional, then what's left? There is a way through it, but it's not about escaping the reality of the game. It's about mastering it. And the answer? It's simple, but not easy. Self-reliance. That's it. That's the core. You become your own foundation. You build a mindset that doesn't rely on approval, doesn't depend on protection, and doesn't seek validation from those who can't give it without strings attached. You become the one person in your life that you can trust unconditionally. Because when you're self-reliant, no one can leverage your desperation. No one can manipulate you with praise or pressure you with threats. You're not swayed by compliments. You're not shaken by criticism. You see through the noise and act from your center. That's real power. Machiavelli understood this. He didn't preach paranoia, he preached preparation. He wasn't saying, trust no one just to be edgy. He was saying, don't put your survival in someone else's hands. Don't hand someone the sword and assume they won't use it. When you build your life around external loyalty, you're building a house of cards. It might look strong, it might even feel stable, but the second pressure hits, it collapses because it was never yours to control. But when you build from within, when your judgment, your discipline, and your vision are rooted in self-trust, there's nothing anyone can take from you. No one can ruin you because they never had the power to make you in the first place.
So many people fall because they trusted the wrong friend, or gave their loyalty to someone who saw them as a stepping stone, or assumed that good times meant permanent bonds. But history repeats the same lesson. Power isolates. The more you rise, the fewer people can relate to you. The more you achieve, the more people start looking for cracks in your armor. You become a symbol, and symbols are easy to target. In today's world, it's even more brutal, because betrayal isn't just a whisper in the palace anymore. It's a tweet, a video, a leaked message. It's a narrative shift that can happen overnight. And once the tide turns, even your biggest supporters will disappear to protect themselves. So don't be shocked when it happens. Be ready. That doesn't mean becoming cold or emotionless. It means being clear, being intentional, knowing that trust is a risk, and treating it like one. You don't throw it around. You don't beg for it. You make people earn it. And even then, you stay aware. The people who rise and stay risen in the game of power aren't the ones who believe the most in others. They're the ones who understand how others think. They know that every relationship is a value exchange, that even loyalty is often just delayed self-interest. So they don't hate the game, they master it. And maybe you're thinking, that sounds lonely. Yeah, it can be. But here's the truth. Solitude is better than betrayal.
Silence is better than fake praise, and standing alone is far better than falling with a crowd that was never really with you to begin with. True strength isn't just about dominance, it's about durability. It's about being so centered in who you are, in what you stand for, that no shift in alliances, no smear campaign, no backstab can undo what you've built.
So yes, the path is narrow. And yes, it gets cold at the top. But that's the cost of control. That's the price of playing this game to win, not just to survive. Because in the end, the power game isn't just about controlling others, it's about not being controlled. And when everything else fades, the money, the attention, the partnerships, one thing will remain: you. Your choices, your mind, your resilience, your ability to keep moving forward when everyone else has backed away. Look around. Think of all the people who fell, not because of some external enemy, but because they trusted too quickly, believed too deeply, confused comfort for commitment. The throne is always surrounded by smiling faces, and that's the most dangerous place to be. The question is, are you watching the board? Are you playing your game? Or are you just a piece in someone else's? Because at the end of the day, the game never stops. The players never rest. The rules don't change. The only real question is this: did you play the game, or did the game play you?